Okay, and for our special guest, we now welcome on Latrell Bankston, defensive tackle for University of Houston. I'm joined today also by Doug Latrell. Doug, how you guys doing today? Latrell, let's start off with you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing real well. How you guys doing?
I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for coming on to the Transfer Portal podcast. It really means a lot to us. Doug, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's just great to know one of the future stars in college football, man. Just excited.
And he got a really good start over at Iowa State. Good to know that he is now joining our Houston Cougars already. Latrell, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let's just start getting the ball rolling here. What made you want to go from, Iowa State to Lafayette and then going to U of H? Like, what made you want to come play for the University of Houston Cougars?
Well, to start off, Coach Early, he been recruiting me from the get go. Ever since I went junior college, he been recruiting me since my freshman year. And me and him had like a really good relationship the whole time. And then when I was at Iowa State, the scheme there wasn't really my fit. So me and Coach Early kept contact. You know what I mean? And then when I entered the transfer portal, he was the first one to jump on top of me. And then ever since then, I just, it just, I don't know. I always had like a trust with Coach Early. I think like he can put me into the best place to make it to the NFL. Granted, he put Peyton Turner in there and stuff, and then you got the history with Ed Oliver in there, and me and him are kind of like the same stature, same style of play. So I believe that we can I can make it to the NFL coming out of Houston.
I love hearing that. If you could say that you could play like Ed Oliver, let's roll with it. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
100% all behind that. Doug, let's go over to you. What's your first thing that you would like to know about Latrell Bankston?
Hey, Latrell. So question for me. So going from high school to JUCO to playing at Iowa State, like what was the moment that hit you where you realized that this isn't high school anymore? This is like the next level. Would it be more so like practices or would it be like campus visits or walk me through like when you realized that this was a whole different level?
The biggest thing that changed for me was just the amount of accountability I had to take within like the scheme, showing up on time to a lot of things like coming up early, putting in extra time into like my craft, like I said before, the playbook, and then the biggest thing was the fans. My first time having like a lot of fans in the stadium when we played. What game was it? I think it might have been an Oklahoma game. Again, our first Oklahoma game, we had like a couple thousand fans in the stadium. Granted, there was the COVID thing, but still, the fan in the stadium and the atmosphere in general, just took my breath away. And I was like, man, like I really made it. You know what I mean? Like in
Hmm.
junior college and high school, you don't really have that many people there. But at
Right.
a D1 school with what 35 plus thousand people and on campus, and then like the alumni and fans and family coming. It's just a different type of feeling, you know. Then you're on ESPN, CBS, big time like television. It's just like a whole different feeling.
That's actually crazy. Like, just going from a couple hundred to a couple thousand to 35, 40K. Like,
Yeah,
that's a culture shock. Like,
it
what
was.
was the
Yeah, it
biggest
really
crowd?
was.
What was the biggest crowd you played before that? Like,
It was probably high school. The biggest like before that it was probably my high school game. It was like a little in town rivalry game, Woodstock and Etowah. We had a couple thousand people there. I probably said like 2 or 3 thousand. That was a lot of people at the time. I was like, man, this is like the craziest game I've ever been a part of. But then like junior college, like a couple hundred people. You know what I mean?
mhm, right.
Like yeah, it was rough in JUCO. Like people don't really understand like JUCO is really like the you ever seen like the movie The Longest Yard? That's really what JUCO was like. Like there was nobody there. There's a couple people there. You know, I ain't really. My dad hasn't seen me play football since high school. So now me coming closer to home, he'd be able to come see me and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just but like that's the biggest. That was the biggest difference, though. Yeah.
All right, cool. So how about you explain to us a little bit like how you got into JUCO? Like what was your recruiting process like when you were coming out of high school? Kind of like just tell us like what the journey was like at that point.
Yeah, so coming out like, in high school, I had I had a couple like big schools talking to me, looking at me, but my grades weren't really that good. Wasn't up to par. Uh, because like I didn't know anything about college football, to be honest with you. I didn't know anything about the recruiting process or nothing like that. I was just playing football just to have fun. But then I got my first offer from a smaller D2 school. Then I got my first Division I offer from Kennesaw State and Georgia State. And I was originally committed to Georgia State, and then they had pulled my offer because of grades. Then I was committed to Kennesaw State, but then I couldn't attend Kennesaw State because of grades. So uh, my former coach from JUCO, Thaddeus Brown, he had came to my school and told me if if things don't work out, here's my card, and you just call me. And ever since then, I called him, went to junior college, and then I'm up here at this point.
So I assume your grades are in check now, right?
Oh yeah, my grades are really good
Sweet.
now.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I'm not. Yeah,
I just had to throw that in there. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Uh, Doug, I'll let you take the next one.
Sure. So you'd mentioned Coach Brown was being like one of the people that helped you out to get you to JUCO and help you move up. Have you had any other inspirations off the field, on the field, that helped you become who you are today?
yeah. You know, my biggest inspiration is my mother. I lost my mother when I was 15. And I always promised her that I was going to give her the best. Just like any other kid would. And then I got her, my dad. But then outside of family and stuff, my biggest inspiration is Aaron Donald. He helped me. I watched him a lot coming out of high school, and I believe like watching his game and him give me like the type of he gave me the confidence like undersized D lineman can make it and be like a premier type of player in the highest level. And then yeah, but like he just really gave me like just the confidence to know like you can do what you want to do no matter your size or what. It's all about technique. It's just having love for the game because that's what I got. I really love football. Like it's just like football is just like everything. Like this from lifting weights to watching film. It's like a second part of your life. You know what I mean? Like you got school, family, blah blah blah. Like football is like it kind of like your alter ego, kind of like Superman. Like it's just like you just got like a it's like you got like a whole nother life. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
yeah, I'll say besides family and stuff, Aaron Donald is my biggest inspiration.
Would you say that that's like who you absolutely try your hardest to model your game after?
Yeah, him and Grady Jarrett, those are the two guys.
Awesome.
Great
Uh,
choices.
love it. Um, what would you say are the honest expectations for the season? I'm not talking like straight up like wins and losses, but maybe in terms of like what do you want to like show out to the world? Because you know, U of H, I feel like a lot of like big media, they're kind of viewing U of H as like, okay, what happened to like Tom Herman years and Ed Oliver and all that
Yeah.
compared to like over the last 2 years? I mean, is there like a statement that the team wants to put out there saying like, the last 2 years that you think you saw are really not what U of H football is all about, you know, trying to like, let's say screw it, let's say beat Cincinnati in the AAC championship game. I mean, like what's the
Yeah.
expectation for the year?
Honestly, I think the biggest expectation for us is just to just go out there and show everybody like that we're just here to be like we want to be like the team back in 2015. You know what I'm saying? The team that won the Peach Bowl, stuff like that. Bring the city back up. You know what I mean? Like this, the city of Houston really haven't done anything in a while. You know what I mean? Then you lost J.G. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, James Harden. We're trying to bring the city back up and just like show people like we want to bring back like the third ward defense, prove to people like the defense is here to stay, to bring like a different type of vibe and culture to the city of Houston. You know what I mean? Uh, honestly, like people have been like, saying like Coach Holgerson's a bad coach and stuff like that. But honestly, like he's really not. Like I think Coach Wilkerson might be up there with like the best head coaches I ever had, just off of like what he wants, what he expects out of us, how he goes about things and stuff like that, and just like his track record of putting guys into the league, his wins and loss record back in the Big 12. It's like which is like the COVID season been hurting people. You know, so we like they lost players. I wasn't part of the team, but they lost players due to COVID and stuff like that. Payne Turner was hurt for the majority of the season. You know what I mean? I think like people really underestimate the team based off the last couple of years, but this year we're going to show them like we can be just as good or even better than the 2015 team.
I'll tell you one thing. You sound a lot like a Houstonian right now.
Yeah,
I being dead serious. But like whenever you came to Houston, I'm not talking about the university. I'm talking about like the city. When you came to the city of Houston, was there something about the city itself that like spoke you to it that made you realize, yeah, I wanna be here for the foreseeable future?
yeah, just the people, like when I first got here, like people like when I like first got like my apparel, like my football apparel and stuff, like the fans here are really like dedicated to this team. You know what I mean? Like it's really crazy. Like it really reminds me of like Iowa State because Iowa State don't have a professional team in Iowa. So like Iowa State and Iowa are like their professional teams, but even here having like the Houston Texans, like fans here are really dedicated to the team. Like people come up to me all the time when I'm at like at grocery stores and stuff like that, getting stuff to eat. Like they say like, how y'all gonna do this year? Uh, like we're waiting till you see y'all ball out this year, blase, stuff like that. Like it's really like it's kind of like I know it's not like a college town, but like it gave me like college town vibes, and I was like, man, like I like to play with a place where like there's like just like a lot of pride in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Most definitely. Doug, let's hear what you got.
Yeah, so just to follow up, like, because I know you went to Iowa State and then transferring to Houston. Like, how have you adjusted to like both those schools, like year one and then now? Like, how have you adjusted being the new kid, like just trying to, make the team better, coming into new schemes, just trying to, because it's a lot for a person coming to a new school. Like I've done it when I went to school, but I mean, you have the added pressure of football, but like, how have you been able to adjust both times?
Yeah, like no matter what, no matter where I go, I always try to be the same person I always am. I'm goofy, funny, uh, really talkative. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
like, and like, I always don't. I want to never want to change my morals based off where I go. You know what I mean? I want to
Right.
be my true, authentic self, so like my teammates can like me and my teammates can build like a group rapport. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, so like honestly, me adjusting to like new places and going to new places really isn't that hard for me because it's just like my personality and who I am. But learning the playbook isn't really that hard either because just off of like me learning like knowing football and like really like I said before, like really loving the game. I be in my playbook at least like 3 to 4 hours, even after the fact, watching film and stuff like that. So like me like getting accustomed and just learning like new things and like a new environment, new team, new city, everything really isn't that hard for me to just like wrap my head around.
Yeah, no,
So,
like
go for it.
I was gonna say, like that work ethic is gonna go a long way, man. Like it's already brought you
Yeah,
this far. It's gonna make you go that next level, man. Like I was reading something from Draft Diamonds where they said like even if you don't get the numbers, you at least got the offense like to draw their eyes on you, so that way your team like gets the numbers, the team actually ends up improving. So like that
yeah,
whole making sure that everybody eats, man. That's what I love about you, man.
yeah.
So I just want to like tell us a little bit more about like Doug Belk's defense, like like as a unit in terms of for the defensive line. Like, how would you describe like what technique would you say that you would fit best at, and like how it goes into your benefits, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so just being based off like a 4-3 defense, like I can play all positions from the 0 to the 5, you know what I mean? And like I got a lot more freedom down here in Houston than I had at Iowa State. And just like it's just a lot of like freedom, you know what I mean? like of course, like you still got like your gap and stuff like that, but like just off that, like technique wise and stuff, like you here to make plays. Like the D line here, like they choose you and have you here to make plays. Like they don't want you to be no gap eater. They don't want you to be just a single block type guy. Like they want you to make plays down here. And they told me that I was getting recruited down here, getting recruited here, and that caught my eye a lot. You know what I mean? And and just the D line, man. Like we just got a whole bunch of guys here. Of course, you got Logan Hall, Derek Pierce, David Anini, Elias Bell, Cedric Williams. There's even like the guys behind us. Everybody here on the D line can start at a different school. Like this is how deep in depth we are, and just the talent here is just crazy. Like if I had to compare our D line, like we're up. Like I think we're up there in talent with any other school in the country. Honestly, like it's really fun, man. It's really fun playing with somebody next to you. Like yeah, like I know he's gonna do a job and blow stuff up and make a play before me. It's like a race. Like it's like a race. Like we all trying to get there before the next guy. Like with sacks and stuff. We always talk about it in the meeting room, make fun of each other. I love it. Like this is the most fun I had playing football in a long time. Even though I haven't played a game with you guys, just off like the vibe and the it's just like the relationship we have. I never been closer with a group of guys in like in a unit in my life. Even from like I would say JUCO, high school, like this is like these guys are like my brothers, man. Like it's crazy you just thinking like that. You know what I mean? Just for
So
being here.
it's a very fun like atmosphere that you're currently in, and at the same
Oh
time,
yeah.
but at the same time, everybody like knows their job, everybody knows their assignment,
Yeah.
and it's just a matter of just putting it all together. Because that's honestly what I really want to hear. Like whenever somebody talks about their team, they're serious enough about football enough to the point where everybody has a good understanding of what they want to perform to as a unit. And at the
Hmm.
same time, they know that they can stay relaxed because they know that they got trust each other. And that's honestly something that I really like hearing about.
Yeah.
Okay. What is? Are there any games that you are you a take it game by game type of guy, or are there games on the calendar this year that you're already like, yeah, I cannot wait for that game?
Honestly, I'm a game by game guy. Like every game is like a Super Bowl to me. Like I wanna go out there and do my best and just wreck it. You know what I mean? It's just
Mhm.
every game. But but just for me though, like specifically, I'll probably say the first game this year, just so I can really prove to like the whole country, like yeah, like I'm here to show you like what I can do. You know what I mean? And then like just knowing like the history that Houston and Texas take have, like I just want to go out there and just dominate, so we can just show everybody like Houston, like the Houston Cougars is one of the best teams in the country. You know what I mean? I think this first game is really like the same for everybody here. Like this first game going to dictate like how we are this season. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's really it, man. Really, the first game. The first game is really like the motivating game besides like the conference championship. You know what I mean?
I already bought my ticket to that game, and I'll be honest with you, I cannot remember the last time I've been this excited to go to a U of H game because I really do feel like it's
Yeah,
going to be something special. I really do think it's gonna. I think it's screwed. It'll be better than Georgia Clemson. Let's say it. I mean,
yeah. I do
Relax.
too.
Relax
uh,
right there.
okay.
Sorry, Georgia fan here. So
Oh, okay.
All right, Doug. What else you got for the man?
yeah. So Latrell. So imagine it's game day. Like, walk me through your game day routine. Like how you get ready. Like any sort of last minute adjustments. Like or any sort of other routines or rituals that you do.
Game day. Well, game day. I really listen to music all day long, and my choice of music is different from everybody's. I like to listen to R&B music and kind of like jazz and pop music. I don't really like getting myself too hyped up. I don't want to throw my psyche off. Get up. I watch, like I said, I watch the Lawrence Taylor highlight and I watch Aaron Donald highlight just to like be like, yeah, like this is like the type of like this type of like mood I'm gonna be in. You know what I mean? While I'm on the field and just seeing like myself being in their shoes and stuff. You know what I mean? Holding myself up to that expectation. I call my family before the game, tell them I love them. And besides like the team thing, I just really sit in my locker, just visualize what I'm gonna do. tell myself what I'm going to do, and just go out there and try to perform to the best of my ability. That's really about it, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I just want to follow up. So you said you listen to R&B and jazz. Like, what artists do you listen to? Like, just game day or in general? You can also plug
Uh,
anybody's SoundCloud if you want. So,
yeah, I like to listen to I like to listen to like some Frank Ocean. I like to
mhm.
listen to like some Mac Miller. I listen to some Frank Sinatra too.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
Love
like to
love
listen
the
to some
love
Frank
the
Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra plug right there.
Yeah, I listen to some Wendell B. He's more of like a local guy back down south in Mississippi. Uh, and what else I like to listen to? I listen to a lot of people. Janae Anko. Uh, I don't really like Chris Brown. I don't like Chris Brown. I don't like Chris Brown.
new Chris
I
Brown
like
or old Chris Brown?
new Chris Brown. I like old Chris
Okay,
Brown. Yeah.
okay. Glad we got that sorted out. But those are some good choices, though. Like, not
Yeah.
the usual choices for game day, but in general, like it works for you. It's clearly worked because you've been amazing so far, at
Yeah, I
least from what I've
appreciate it.
seen. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. And then any sort of like food, like be game day, or is it more so like the night before?
Well, typically game days, like people like the team has like a certain food we can eat.
Mhm.
But if I had the option to choose what to eat, it'd probably be like a lot of fruit, a lot of fruit, some ice cream. I always like ice cream. Uh, and some type of meat, like probably like chicken or not even chicken, fish. It'd be fish. I think every time I ate ice cream before a game, I had a good game. So that's really my main one. Like ice cream with Reese's cups and
Mhm.
some caramel drizzle on it. That's my go-to ice cream before games.
Ooh.
Tell Dana that I said that you have my approval for you to eat ice cream, Reese's, and caramel before every game, and see if he buys it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them know.
All right, so okay, so Latrell, I was a defensive tackle back in high school, so I feel like you and I are gonna have the same answer to this question. What is every not just defensive tackle, but what is every defensive lineman's like dream play?
Game winning sack.
Okay, I was thinking of like a tipped interception for a pick six. I mean, that's what I was thinking. It never happened,
Ah, yeah.
but
That'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. Nah, but a game winning sack, a pick
You
six,
had that.
that's a once in a lifetime. Yeah, I think a pick six would be a once in a lifetime thing. Yeah,
okay,
You
okay.
had
So
that game winning sack too.
yeah, I did. That's a crazy thing in my life. That was the biggest moment of my life. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I will say
Yeah,
this: if I recall correctly, you did sack Sam Ellinger when you were at Iowa State, correct?
yeah, twice.
Twice. There you go. That's what I like to hear because how I will say this before I get into this next part. How like Sam Ellinger, he's one of the bigger names in college football when he was at Texas, and probably opened his mouth a little too much when they beat Georgia at the Sugar Bowl. So how did it feel to like get that sack on to get the two sacks on him that you were able to get your hands on this this nationally wide known player?
It was cool. You know what I mean? Like you don't really get an opportunity to like sack like a potential Heisman Trophy winner guy. You know what I mean? And just do it twice. You like, yeah, like I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I'm like an unknown type of guy. And then like when this unknown guy come out on a national stage and tackle arguably the best player twice, you're like, yeah, like you're gonna film me. You know what I mean? And it
Mm-hmm.
was just like it was a really cool moment. You know, if I ever get the opportunity to sack Tom Brady, that'd be a really cool thing. Or Patrick Mahomes, that'd be a really cool thing to do too.
Well, we're going to prelude to that in a little bit here. So the reason why I was asking you about the whole pick six thing and all that is because we're now going to ask six quick fire questions. And
Yeah,
it's a matter of like, real quick, that kind of thing. What was the biggest culture shock when you got to the city of Houston?
culture shock. The food is probably the best food I had in my life.
I love it.
Yeah.
That kind of goes into the next one. What is your favorite Houston food joint so far?
Ooh. Probably Sam's Boat. I like Sam's Boat a lot.
Do you want me to recommend you a few?
Please. Yeah, please.
Waffle Bus. Have you ever been to Waffle Bus?
Yeah, yeah. That's top two. That's number two.
Uh,
That's right behind it.
Brothers Taco House, just right outside U of H.
Never been there. I gotta try it.
Brothers Taco House is one of the highest rated taco places in the city. Let's see what else is a good one. Just go to the Heights, and it's like food galore. I work in the Heights, and it's like
Yeah.
I love going out to. Oh, Miko's Hot Chicken. Try out Miko's Hot Chicken once
All
you
right.
find it. Have you been to Whataburger yet? And if
I have.
so, what? And since you have, what is your go-to order there now?
I like to eat the honey chicken biscuits. That's my favorite thing to eat there.
Ooh, they're
Have
good.
you have you have you
Yeah.
have you had a patty melt yet?
I have the patty melt, the second best thing on that, in my opinion, on the menu. Oh man, the patty melt's so good.
Special. It is special.
Yeah,
Love
it
me patty
is.
melt.
There's four. There's the if I had to come up with a holy trinity for a Houstonian, it's a patty melt, high school football, and screw it barbecue, something like that. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. Okay, if you could have the opportunity to sack any college quarterback this season, who would it be? You know, both think
Woo.
about like both what you're already playing in the regular season, potential AAC championship game. I mean, screw it. Let's go ahead, dream big, and let's dream big. And let's say you play a big school in the Fiesta Bowl.
One quarterback. I'm gonna do in conference and out of conference. In conference, I want to sack Desmond Ritter. I really want to sack him really bad. Besides him, I want to sack. I want to sack Spencer Rattler. I never got an opportunity to get him. I want to get him again. I mean, I want to try to get him. I
What
think
makes you
in
what makes you
this.
say you won't do it in the NFL?
Yeah, that's right. I want to get him really
Right.
bad.
Okay. I mean, you already said Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes too. Who is the current funniest guy in the locker room?
Ruben Unij.
You said that pretty easily.
Yeah,
What does he do that's funny?
just him being him. Ruben's the funniest guy I probably been in my life.
So he's like just a goofy guy essentially.
He's super goofy.
Awesome. Let's see now. What are you currently binging? This is Doug's question, not mine. So I really don't have any judgment towards this whatsoever.
In the upper 450s, 460s.
Oh, binging as in like Netflix
Oh,
and
binging. Oh,
yeah.
Gina. My favorite show to watch is Gina and Georgia. Gina and Georgia is on Netflix. It's a TV show.
No,
You
put
gotta
that
watch
down
it.
as
You gotta watch it. You gotta
okay.
watch
I'll
it.
definitely watch it because this is the first time I've heard of
Yeah.
it. So definitely watch it. Gina
Uh,
in Georgia.
okay, you are on a deserted island, but you can have three things in the world at your possession. What are they?
Uh, Three things: a knife, a lighter, and some water, and some clean. No, probably like a filter so I can filter out the dirty water.
I like the look on
That's
Doug's face.
no, because like I've seen
Nobody.
people that have done everything from bring me like TVs or bring me like cat litter for a pet that they're bringing. But like you had a plan to actually like get off the island. People
Yeah,
mainly every single time that we ask, it's like I'm gonna be here a while, so let me just get comfortable. But nah, you want to go home.
I want to go home.
So
I'm surprised you ain't say like lumber so you can build a boat and get out of there.
but islands
Yeah,
usually have trees though.
yeah,
All right, then a saw. Well, then again, you already have the knife.
yeah.
Exactly.
It might take a while to cut down the tree, but it'll be worth the time.
Okay, Doug, any questions that you got left for Latrell?
Gotcha. So do you have like any sort of hidden talents, like something that nobody in the world knows, or not somebody that outside of your close friends know?
Hidden talents.
Yeah.
Do I have a hidden talent? I
Don't
mean,
sell yourself
besides,
short.
yeah, I'm trying to think. Hidden talent, Latrell Bankston. I'm a real good gamer. People don't really believe that, and I write
Oh,
poetry. That's about it.
I respect the poetry
poetry.
part. I
Yeah,
as a writer, I respect the poetry part.
yeah.
What do you
Uh,
usually like game? Like, what do you usually play? Do you play like,
Call of Duty, Fortnite. I'm really good at Fortnite. Really, really good.
oh,
And I'm a really good 2K player.
2K?
what?
Who do you run?
I
Who do I run with?
Yeah.
I'll use anybody. It's all
Oh,
about. Yeah, I go usually go into like the little thing where like you game plan. You have to change like the defensive settings, and then
hmm.
like I do a lot of trap. I usually trap with a lot of guys. It depends on how they play. If I like play you like quite amount of times and know how you play, I usually like trap you. I run a 2-3 defense, 2-3 zone, 3-2 zone. I do all type of stuff based off the guy I'm playing.
Yeah, you'd probably beat me then because I just go up and play and shoot
Yeah,
threes because I cannot. Because as soon as I get in the paint, controls and they do not work for me. So
yeah. I probably beat you then.
You know what? I feel like maybe potentially bullying one of your teammates right now. Who's the worst video gamer on the team that you know of?
Ruben Unij.
So he's the
hey.
funniest. So he's the funniest. He's the
Yeah.
so what is he then? Is he like a sore loser to the point where it's like funny to watch him like rage quit or something, or like what is it?
Yeah, Ruben's like I play Apex too, and Ruben is and you have anybody on the team if who do not play Apex with is Ruben. He is the worst. He's bad at 2K. I killed him in 2K a bunch of times. Like Ruben's just not he's just not a gamer.
I'm sorry. It's just
I'm gonna see if I can message him and I'm gonna ask if like if all these accusations are true.
Yeah, he probably won't say no, but it's true.
Okay. Uh let's see now. Doug, what else you got for him? Because you got anything else?
yeah. So like off day, like after a game, like off day, like what do you try to do to like unwind? Like outside of catching up with like schoolwork and stuff, but like what do you do to unwind on the off day? Okay, you mentioned you're
Uh,
a gamer, but like what else?
uh, talk to my people, light a candle and lay in bed and watch TV.
Candle, nice.
I'm a big
Okay.
candle kind of. I love candles. That's like an addiction. I don't know why.
Big Yankee
Is
Candle, or is it more so like
Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works?
I respect it. You probably like the house smelling nice and clean. I actually respect
I
it.
do. Yeah, I do.
So I do. I honestly hate using the word, but I can't think of a better word to use right now. I do have a stadium fetish. I think it's a stupid terminology, but like I do like
Yeah,
stadiums a lot. You
Yeah.
know, and you already spoke about how when you came to Iowa State, you know, and you were just shocked at like the stadiums, the crowds, everything. Based on stadiums that you've already played in, which one did you go into that kind of like left you the most shocked and like the most, you're, kind of like that. And it could also be like your favorite stadium that you've ever played into, that sort of thing.
AT&T Stadium when we played in the Big 12 championship. I went inside the locker room on the field, just looking at the big jumbotron. That was the craziest. That like my heart dropped when I went inside that stadium. It was the craziest thing ever. And then besides that, Texas Longhorn Stadium was really nice too. It was huge. Then I saw that big old bull. I saw Earl Campbell. It was a really cool experience too.
I've been to AT&T a few times, and trust me, the thing looks like a spaceship from the
Yeah,
outside. So
it
like,
did.
and like what's crazy is like whenever you like walk through the gate, it's like the lower section you have to like take it downstairs to get into. So
Yeah,
the field looks like it's underground, which is like one of the
Right.
more insane things. Are you looking forward to playing an NRG week one?
I, that's the only thing I'm thinking about right now.
Because it's I think look, I love this city. I love that. The one criticism I'll give NRG is that it gives a really major like rodeo vibe. Like
Yeah,
that's the one thing I'll say about it. And you know what? A lot of people like that. A lot of people don't like it. That's fine with me. But like it's still a stadium that I really enjoy going to. Like whenever I go see a game there, I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to play in it.
All right. I think that is enough from me personally. Doug, any last questions you got?
I am good on my end. Do you have any sort of last minute plugs, Latrell?
Nah, just
Want to plug your Twitter in? I could put your Twitter in the description.
yeah. Well, where's my Twitter handle? I don't even know.
I think it's like
Maybe
just your. I think it's just your first initial and your last name. Let me check real quick.
Latrell Bankston.
Latrell Bankston. Okay, yep. All right, I'll put that in the description so people can follow
Yeah.
you, and now people can watch our highlights, and then we can start having you have conversations with Todd McShay and Mel Kiper. How's that sound?
That sounds cool with me.
All right, hey Latrell, thank you so much for joining us. It really means a lot
Thank
to
you.
us.
I appreciate you guys.
I just want to say I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the opener. I'll be at the Rice game the next week, and I plan on being at the SMU game later in the season. That game, I'm probably, yeah, might be the most excited for that one. I'm really pumped for that one.
Yeah.
Once again, hey Latrell, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Go Cougs.
We're
Go
rooting
Cougs.
for you,
Go
man.
Cougs, go Cougs, man.
Go Cougs, man.
Appreciate it.